Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to the first episode of my new Let's Play, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game. Anyways, this game, as you can tell from the title, is a video game tie-in based off the very first SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and because it was made by the same people who made Battle for Bikini Bottom, it shares a lot of similarities with Battle for Bikini Bottom. It was built off the same engine, and in a way, it feels like a predecessor to just DLC expansion stories that you'd see nowadays, where it feels very much like Battle for Bikini Bottom, though it follows the plot of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so anyways, let's start a new game. Yes, memory card 1. Yeah, as you can see, this is my practice file, so let's go. And it's gonna be like, you have no space, no memory, try again later. Yeah, as you can tell, all the level names are actually quotes from the film.
Welcome to our little tale of woe, triumph against impossible odds, terror, and managerly responsibility. Our story begins in the calm waters above the town of Bikini Bottom. As we descend beneath the waves, we find another day. Wait a minute! Hold your seahorses!
I can't believe this is happening here! It's horrible! Oh, thank Neptune, my manager's here!
Talk to me, Krabs.
It started out as a simple order. A Krabby Patty with cheese.
So what went wrong?
When the customer took a bite, no cheese! Oh, this has never happened before!
Get a hold of yourself, Eugene. I'm going in.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of funny just seeing that scenario of just SpongeBob being the one calm over a botched order, because basically there was one episode, basically one of Bubble Bass's premiere episodes, where basically just SpongeBob has a mental breakdown because he thought he forgot pickles on a Krabby Patty, basically, and Bubble Bass having to get that refund. Bubble Bass just chucking Squidward off the side to get his money back, and then SpongeBob just having a breakdown, just forgetting how to do pretty much everything because he thought he forgot the pickles. And yet, meanwhile in this dream, SpongeBob, oh, there's cheese forgotten, no worries, we're gonna fix this. Even though SpongeBob would probably be the one making the Krabby Patty, unless SpongeBob is putting Squidward behind the grill, you would think that SpongeBob would be defending his grill like it's his child, basically. No one is touching SpongeBob's grill. SpongeBob's gonna be moving the grill into Mr. Krabs' into the office of the Krusty Krab too, so that way no one can touch his grill. But anyways, before we get started, let's just go in and just check the settings. Okay, 1, 2, and music volume 1.
Now that's an uplifting sound.
Okay, I just want to verify. 1 below, 2 below. Okay, so anyways, yeah, it's kind of interesting though how they based this entire level off of just a small dream sequence that basically was a good way to start off the film. Yeah, just hell breaking loose because cheese was not in a Krabby Patty.
Just another day in the life of a
Now I can't help but imagine just what would happen if SpongeBob actually forgot to give out actually gave a small order of fries instead of a medium order. Frankly, in that case, just the customer would be going on a riot. But anyways, like in Battle for Bikini Bottom, you're gonna find a bunch of items scattered around the level, a bunch of glowing items, though instead of shiny objects, as you can see, they are weights. And once we collect 250, we'll be able to... Okay, yeah, for a second I thought they gave us upgrades just out of the blue, but anyways. Once you get enough points, you can upgrade SpongeBob and Patrick's stats. Basically, as you can see, we're going to be playing as both SpongeBob and Patrick. And for obvious reasons, yeah, but just with how much SpongeBob loves jellyfish, to the point where back in the early days he wanted to live with the jellyfish. I just can't help but imagine what's going on through SpongeBob's subconscious at this point, that he would imagine Patrick just killing a jellyfish for the fun of it and just laughing about it, only get chased off by a dozen others. Yeah, anyways, the teleportation boxes return from Bow for Bikini Bottom, as well as slides. Those slides will play a bit of a different role in this game. So anyways, instead of socks, you're going to have these treasure chests over there. But instead of basically giving you being a mandatory collectible if you want 100%, these treasure chests will unlock extras. If you go into the extras menu, under options, you can basically just unlock a bunch of cool stuff. Anyways, for collecting one, you get a film trailer, and you'll get one, a new unlockable for each one that you collect. Yeah, each level will have a different number of treasure chests. Yeah, as you can see, next level, just of all the quotes they could have chosen, I'm ready, depression, basically just arguably one of SpongeBob's lowest points in the film, and just, I'm ready, depression. Yes. Yeah, a few of them, though, aren't quotes from the film because basically they're entirely different scenarios. We'll go into them once we get through.
Go to the extra section on the options menu.
Okay, so anyways, SpongeBob's controls are pretty much the exact same as they were in Bow for Bikini Bottom. Basically, just press X to jump, or rather the jump button to jump. You can double jump. A standard attack is a spin. You can use this to gain a little bit of horizontal distance, though as you can see, I'm pressing the triangle button on the PS2 controller, but we're not doing a bash upwards. Likewise, I'm pressing circle while in the air,
To use the teleport box, jump into it.
and Mindy can interrupt. And yeah, so basically we don't have a bash, and we don't have a ground pound. The reason is that this game is very much like Wario Land 3, in that basically SpongeBob's gonna more or less end the game off with his Bow for Bikini Bottom arsenal, but you're gonna have to collect the powers. And I forgot to turn off rumble control. Okay, so let's see. Rumble.
Music to me.
Yeah, back in the day, I loved rumble, but nowadays, the rumble just makes my hands feel uncomfortable.
Nothing like a little man type stuff. Cleanliness is next to managerliness.
So anyways, this level is pretty straightforward. In fact, we're almost done with the level itself. Yeah, as far as collecting the weights is concerned, you don't really need to worry about that too much. Because while it is good to upgrade, it's not the end of the world if you don't. Because a good chunk of the levels in this game actually do not utilize any of the upgrades, basically. A lot of them are vehicle levels. Which is arguably one of the biggest turnoffs that people have when it comes to this game. Where personally, I like how this game is, I like how it plays. It's basically like Bow for Bikini Bottom, but with a different flavor to it. So anyways, fun fact, back in the day, I did not pay attention to that tutorial. So I went through most of the game with no upgrades. So anyways, by upgrading SpongeBob's Karate Spin, likewise with Patrick's Star Spin, basically, it won't increase the power of the attack, but it will basically make it where you can reflect enemy projectiles. Very nice, especially for SpongeBob, because he's arguably going to be dealing with a lot more projectile enemies. Meanwhile with Patrick, despite him being just classically portrayed as a rough and tumble fighter type, basically like the SpongeBob equivalent of Murray, he actually has much calmer levels when it comes to enemy placement. But anyways, as I was saying earlier before I was interrupted by that jellyfish cutscene, for obvious reasons, you cannot play as Sandy in this game. But even though you can play as both SpongeBob and Patrick, you Okay, anyways. Cannot talk about this. Yeah, so basically this I've always found to be weird. Because basically, this is SpongeBob's dream. So SpongeBob is dreaming that Patrick is going to fly over to the Krusty Krab naked. Just, SpongeBob is dreaming of naked Patrick. Anything you want to tell us, SpongeBob? Yeah, SpongeBob wakes his dream.
Oh my gosh! Gary, I had the worst nightmare. I dreamt that Patrick was naked.
Of course you're dreaming about me naked, SpongeBob. I am, after all, the pinnacle of the male form. You may not like it, but I am the very definition of the masculine physique, SpongeBob. Okay, so anyways, as you can see, basically, the number of weights that you have to collect will increase as you get level ups. And there you go. First Goofy Goober token. Goofy Goober tokens are essentially this game's version of golden spatulas. Though...
Who are you?
I'm the manager of this establishment. Everything is gonna be just fine.
I'm really scared, man.
You got a name?
Phil?
Come on, Phil, stay with me. I've only got one shot at this. Gotta have the right tools for the job. Bingo. Now I want you to do me a favor, Phil.
What?
Say cheese.
The beginning. A little yellow friend awakes from his slumber and prepares for the biggest day of his life. Yet, despite his dreams, he is not honored with the manager position of the new Krusty Krab 2. So he sulks off to drown his depression in ice cream at the local Goofy Goobers. Across the street, jealous of Mr. Krabs' success, the diabolical Plankton hatches Plan Z. He steals King Neptune's crown and frames Mr. Krabs for selling it to the far-off and dangerous land of Shell City. Let us now join our heroes in the midst of their self-pity.
Anyways, as you can probably guess from that cutscene, this level is one of my favorites because we basically get the level is essentially just drunk Patrick and drunk SpongeBob. Or more specifically, drunk SpongeBob.
Hey buddy, come on, wake up.
Huh? Where am I?
It's 8 in the morning, closed. Go collect your friend and get out of here.
Hey, buddy! Come on up here and join the party!
SpongeBob!
Darn it, SpongeBob! Don't do this to me! I don't want to get banned from another restaurant! Sure, I got banned from Weenie Hut Juniors when I started yelling slurs against that clanker robot sir at the counter, but he had it coming, SpongeBob! He tried to shortchange me on mustard! And then when I retorted, I came back at him saying, "Hey buddy, I've had extra mustard!" He then came at me saying that I needed to reevaluate my life choices. Can you believe that, SpongeBob? Me! My life choices! Okay, can I pull off a glitch? But yeah, I love the music here. Though, even though this music has kind of developed a reputation as basically just being the meme, essentially a meme song of just a character losing just all semblance of sanity. Okay, come on. Let's see if we can do this.
Little guy, big
And now we'll play it legit. So anyways, these are Belcher enemies. Belcher enemies are the most basic types that you'll encounter. They rush up to you, you gotta hit them. They have a short-range projectile that will linger around for a bit. Though it's a shame that we don't get some great lines from the film. Basically, just for example, the whole answering machine message that that Mr. Krabs gets on that machine right when he's saying, "I didn't steal the crown." Hey, this is Kyle, the guy that you sold the crown to, Neptune's crown. I sold it. I just found a dealer for it in Shell City, where I sold Neptune's crown. The crown belonged to Neptune. Neptune's crown. anyways, Patrick. In this game, his moveset is very different from Battle for Bikini Bottom, as you can see. Instead of being limited to a middling belly bump, Patrick has a full-on spin like SpongeBob does. Though like SpongeBob, he doesn't start off with his slam attack. That's gonna have to be earned. But I will say this. I love Patrick's levels in this game. Basically, all of them are really good. And are arguably some of the more memorable stages in the game. Basically. This one in particular being my favorite of the bunch. Yeah, even though that doesn't sound like a good thing when it's like, oh hey, the second level is your favorite of the bunch. But hey, I love the look of this place.
SpongeBob!
What's up, Patrick? You have got to try this new dot broom game.
Dog!
Where?
Yeah, Goofy Goober, they're just lining up for a big lawsuit, basically. They assault SpongeBob and Patrick, basically, the workers. They're just gonna, SpongeBob's gonna don that attorney suit, and he's gonna take him to court. He's gonna win that. He beat Plankton, he's gonna beat them. He's gonna sue the Goofy Goober. SpongeBob's arc, he sues the Goofy Goober. I got assaulted by the goofy motherfucking goober, SpongeBob! What is this world turning to? What is this world becoming?
Hey, it's you two again. I missed you guys.
Now, anyways, those tents, as you can see, they are one of the many equivalents that we'll see throughout the game of a Duplicatotron, where basically they'll keep on spawning enemies indefinitely, though unlike the Duplicatotron, these things will have a greater explosion range, so really back off. Anyways, can I pull off a glitch? Okay, I did not pull off the glitch. Basically, in the speedrunning community for this game, they have a glitch where basically or rather an exploit, where they jump over to the buttons, jump on top of the buttons, and then basically utilize the bounce back from the water mechanic to essentially press them all at once, thereby negating the need to backtrack this level later on. Though, yeah, I love how they spoil SpongeBob's final power in the game with the Sonic Wave guitar, basically. Though you don't need the Sonic Wave guitar in order to complete that mission, believe it or not. Granted, you'll need it if you don't want to get any upgrades. But anyways, one of the treasure chests that you'll find in this level, right down here. As for the treasure chests themselves, I am not going to be collecting them all, because one, just they're not necessary to gain the 100%, and two, just some of them can be really devious in terms of how they're hidden. But hey, if I find one, I know one, I'll definitely try to collect it. Anyways, in this game, Patrick has a new ability. If you press the triangle button, or the Y button, I believe, for the GameCube version, or I also think the Y button for the Xbox, Patrick will basically grapple onto a block of ice, and you can just spin him around. Essentially, Patrick hijacked Sandy's hook mechanic. That's right, SpongeBob. Who needs Sandy when you have me? I'm worth 5 Sandys. Only difference is that I actually have a sane mind. I know what the world is, SpongeBob. I can give you sagely advice about how to handle things.
Patrick, if you bring me more Goofy Goober tokens, I can grant you the cartwheel move.
Oh, I can show you other moves, baby. Just come over here, and I can really show you a thing or two. You know why they call me Patrick Star? Because you spend a night with me, you're gonna be seeing stars. I am going to rock your world.
Oh boy, I love whatever that move is.
You will. Just bring me more Goofy Goober tokens.
Anyways, this is one of the examples of Mindy essentially being a giant roadblock. Basically, if you aren't actively collecting tokens, Mindy will say, oh hey, you don't have enough tokens. Now you can't complete the level. Seriously, you try to go forward in this level without getting the cartwheel. Mindy's not letting you through the door.
Patrick, you still don't have enough Goofy Goober tokens. Bring me more and I can grant you the cartwheel move.
I have some navel lint.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, you want to see it? You want to see it? I'll show you the navel lint. I'll show you other things. I'll show you my trouser leviathan. Seriously, this thing is so huge that I have to get a forklift license just to do it. But they, of course, they tried to deny me. They said, Patrick, you can't get a forklift license. You're not qualified. You're not rationally minded enough to control a forklift. And I said, screw it. I bought one off of Craigslist. I've been parked behind my rock. Squidward's constantly complaining about calling it an eyesore, but I say, screw you, Squidward. What are you gonna do about it? I can kick your ass, Squidward. I have a forklift. Anyways, go over here, and you can easily find a second Goofy Goober token, plus a bunch of weights.
Macho stuff.
Yeah, by the time you're done with this level, you should have basically enough for 2 upgrades. Yeah, though I love how before... Anyways, this scene right here, basically, with the... Actually, no. Plankton already executed Plan Z. So I love how Plankton had enough time between stealing Neptune's crown, selling it off to Kyle, I believe his name was, who then sold it to Neptune, basically. And manufacturing all the bucket helmets. Plankton had enough time to also create all these boxes with his Plan Z logo on it. So anyways, before we head over and buy the cartwheel, we'll do the alternative that you can use to get that second token, which is probably the encouraged way by the game. Basically, the Combat Arena Challenge. Every platformer level with SpongeBob, as well as Patrick, will have these challenge pads. The combat challenge pads, as you can probably guess, involve combats. Just defeat all the enemies. Basically, those combat gauntlets from Battle for Bikini Bottom. You'll be placed in this arena right here. You'll have a bunch of Krabby Patties for health. And one thing about this is that, unlike in Battle for Bikini Bottom, where health would not respawn, these Krabby Patties, they are infinitely respawning. So, hit and run tactics are very much a viable strategy. Though for this one right here, you don't really need to worry. Just, if you hit an enemy, you can basically combo them off other enemies, much like how you could in Billy Hatcher and the Giant A. Thankfully for this one, it's relatively simple. You'll just have a bunch of belchers. Yeah, as you can see, these belchers are of a different design. Basically, what this game will do is that the combat challenges will feature enemies that you'll see in the next SpongeBob level. So basically, we're going to be encountering these exact belchers once we get to that level. Though for this one, just keep hitting them. You don't really need to worry too much. Yeah, they also start throwing in the Goofy Goober guys, even though they will not be appearing after this level. Granted, you'll see variants that are like the Goofy Goober guys, but the Goofy Goober guys in themselves only will appear in the Goofy Goober levels. Yeah, which is kind of cool, where basically all the levels will... Did that guy just get yeeted into the air? SpongeBob just yeeted that guy! Yeah, forget his dreams. SpongeBob basically is just outright yeeting people. Yeah, normally the basher enemies, basically, they'll take 2 hits. So just combo them and you'll be fine. Or rather, 1 hit. I could have sworn it was 2. But as you can see, this game is a lot more combat-oriented than Battle for Bikini Bottom is, where basically, Battle for Bikini Bottom, it's more about the platforming and the like. Meanwhile, with this game, you're going to just have a lot of enemy encounters, where basically, you have no choice but to really fight them. Yeah, thankfully, all the enemies will taunt when you take damage. So use that to your advantage and just go ham and take as many as you can out. Take advantage of those iframes. It will benefit you.
Macho.
And on top of that, just dying can actually have its benefits in this game because it will respawn all the crates in. It'll respawn it'll respawn the grand bulk of the weights in. So basically, you can use it to just farm experience. Though you'll also find that as the game progresses, it'll be easier to just collect the weights necessary to just upgrade. In fact, it's more or less a challenge if you don't upgrade SpongeBob and Patrick. But the upgrades will make things very, very, well, a lot more accessible. Especially in regards to, yeah, I was about to say especially in regards to SpongeBob and Patrick, but particularly Patrick because of just two of his moves. Yeah, though, frankly, I would not be surprised if SpongeBob and Patrick just got blacklisted from Goofy Goober. They just got a full-on ban after they were dancing with Goofy Goober on that stage, just getting absolutely blackout drunk. It's one of those scenes that you laugh at as a kid. You're like, oh, SpongeBob and Patrick are being goofy. But then when you grow up, you see the real context behind the scene of just SpongeBob and Patrick going to a bar, and both of them getting sloshed, and Patrick being a bad influence on SpongeBob. SpongeBob, you gotta drink your problems away. You gotta drink your problems, and then you gotta get angry, SpongeBob. Kick Mr. Krabs' ass. If you don't, he's not gonna learn his lesson. You gotta show him vengeance.
Okay, Patrick. Since you've brought me enough Goofy Goober tokens, you may now use the cartwheel move.
Now, the cartwheel move is a very good addition to Patrick's arsenal because...
Time to spin? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy!
Yeah, basically, press and hold the circle button if you're playing the PS2 version, and you'll basically just...
Patrick. There's lots to do.
Oh, I have a lot to do, and you can do a lot for me too with those hands and that mouth, Mindy. Yeah.
Patrick! What are you doing? Don't, Patrick. You're gonna get another sexual harassment suit.
Darn it, SpongeBob! It's not sexual harassment if I'm doing it. So anyways, the cartwheel is a very good move for Patrick because basically it allows him to just plow down anything in his path and serve as a good combo. Though, unlike SpongeBob, Patrick cannot use his standard attack in the air. Yeah, be careful not to smash these crates because you go to the top and you get 50. Anyways, for this, we're gonna upgrade Patrick's Star Spin. Just so that way Patrick has a little bit projectile reflection ability. I swear I cannot speak today. It's been a pretty hectic week for me. One thing is that I had to actually change out my laptop's battery because basically after several years it's basically was on the fritz, so I had to change it out. I was getting this terminal message. So yeah, I had to get that swapped out just earlier this week, so I'm a little bit on edge. Forget that my laptop's gonna have a knipsum. So anyways, unlike Battle for Bikini Bottom, where the levels were circular and pretty much free form, the levels in this game are very linear, where basically your main goal is to more or less reach the end of the level. You have a general mission goal, in this level, sponge on a wire, and then basically you have a bunch of other challenges. We have all the challenges that we can do for the time being here. So anyways, as for this room, I think I speak for a lot of people when I say this, but this is one of those rooms where you see it and you're like, oh, I wish I could be in this room, you know, basically skating on the ice cream. But then again, as you get older, then you realize that this is a health hazard, where basically the fridge is open and anyone can just go in and just put their feet right on that ice cream. basically. You get some dirty ass ice cream with a toenail in it. You find a band-aid in your ice cream. And mind you, Patrick does not wash. Patrick does not believe in hygiene. So that ice cream is going to have a disease in it. You might as well eat that ice cream off the floor. Anyways, this is one of those... This next chest. This is one of those chests that you can easily miss out on because... Yeah, you have to crash into all of those crates with the cartwheel, and then boom. There you go. Yeah, this is another one of those rooms that basically has always fascinated me, you know? And I believe that this room is actually in Around the Clock at Bikini Bottom, basically. That's another reason why I like that game, you know? Even though I'm not the biggest person when it comes to horrors, I really love the attention to detail that they did in that game, where basically, where the Goofy Goober level is pretty much a horror theme of this. Granted, without as much platforming, but in terms of just the overall layout. Speaking of horror, I don't know why, but the mini-boss theme just is so intense. It sounds like you're gonna die. Yeah, you hear the Battle for Bikini Bottom mini-boss theme, where it's just this techno music, it gets you pumped up. Then you get this one, it's like, bum, 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 bum. And mind you, there isn't a clear moment of when you're getting mini-boss themes, the mini-boss battles. So basically, you're going through the level, and then just all of a sudden, boom. You just get this intensity. Anyways, porta potties. They are this game's version of basically the bus stop from Battle for Bikini Bottom. And you can use them to swap. So anyways, like in Battle for Bikini Bottom, you can basically wall jump and get up here. And this right here is a Sonic Wave Guitar Challenge, which we'll be coming back for later.
There you are, Patrick. I've been trying to find you all evening.
It's 8 in the morning, SpongeBob.
Oh my gosh, 8 o'clock. I am late for work. Mr. Krabs is gonna kill me. Oh, Mr. Krabs.
Back at the Krusty Krab, King Neptune confronts Mr. Krabs about his alleged thievery. He asks if there is anyone present who may vouch for Mr. Krabs' character, and our yellow knucklehead McSpazatron shows up to accuse Mr. Krabs of being a horrible person. King Neptune zaps Mr. Krabs, causing SpongeBob to sober up quickly. He selflessly volunteers to journey to Shell City and retrieve the king's crown. Freezing Mr. Krabs in place, King Neptune grants a 6-day reprieve so SpongeBob and Patrick may attempt to retrieve the crown. King Neptune's daughter Mindy provides SpongeBob and Patrick with a magic mirror through which she can communicate and assist our heroic duo. We continue as SpongeBob and Patrick arrive at the paddy wagon.
Yeah, that 6 days being all thanks to Patrick. SpongeBob couldn't do, yeah, just Neptune. 1 month to get the crown. SpongeBob could do it in 3 weeks. 2. 1 week. 6 days. 4.
SpongeBob, Patrick, it's time to start your journey. Drive the paddy wagon through Bikini Bottom to the edge of town.
Frankly, it's amazing that Plankton managed to get the permits for to basically start construction.
This road will take you through Bikini Bottom to the edge of town. Don't let the paddy wagon take too much damage, or you'll have to start again.
Yeah, but basically just Plankton, his master plan, he manages to enslave most of the town, but then he has to deal with the municipal governments, and just they completely roadblock him.
Sir, I don't care if you're the overlord of the world. You're gonna have to stand in line and fill out Form 13B. Well, I already filled out Form 13B. Look at this. That's 13A, sir. You're gonna have to go go to the second floor and go to the counter to the far right and stand in line so you can get a form for 13D. So that way you can then get permission to go into an interview for Form 13C, and then you can work. And then maybe in a month or 3 months time, somewhere in that ballpark, we'll give you Form 13B. Thank you for your patience. Plankton versus the government. Plankton, yeah, that's gonna be the next Patrick Star game. You know how they have the Patrick Star game where it's like Goat Simulator, Patrick's destroying Bikini Bottom. Patrick teams up with Plankton to take down the municipal government. They have a bone to pick, and only they can help each other out. Alone, they are powerless, but together, they will bring it all to the ground. But anyways, on that note, I think that now would be a good time to end things off. I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you'd like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, see you next time. Bye.